So for the live stream, hey, welcome to Wolf's Watch. We're at International Motorcycle Show here in Southern California. You're not going to believe who I met and just had lunch with. Rod Woodruff. If you've ever gone to Sturgis, you know about buffalo chips, right? Put a comment in the comment on that. Well, Rod, I'm sorry, Rod, I keep doing that. I worked with a Bob Woodruff back in the day, super salesman for a consulting firm. And this is not Bob. This is Rod Woodruff. He is the owner of Buffalo Chips. He got Buffalo Chips started. So give him a shout out and say thank you if you've been there. If you haven't, you got to go to Sturgis and you got to go to Buffalo Chips. And Rod, I was wondering, could you share with us the story of how you got involved with Buffalo Chips and how that started?
Well, what I told you is it's just naturally a little outgrowth of throwing keg parties in high school. Right? And that's true. What the incentive was, though, I was practicing law in a little town called Belle Fourche, which if you ever watched the John Wayne movies, it's Cowtown.
Yeah, and that's where we stayed in 1990.
Yeah, exactly. So I practiced law there, just down the street from the hotel you were probably at. And, but Sturgis was trying to get rid of the rally and trying to figure out ways to keep anybody on a motorcycle from being able to get into town because they were usually all career criminals. Yeah. And so we thought, well, wait a minute, right? Why don't we just find a place out of town where we can just have a party, and that's the high school keg party again, and just give people places they're welcome to go to. And the next thing you know, we're a business and a campground, and all of a sudden we have competitors and politicians to deal with.
Oh, wow.
And so but what he was saying is, if you guys have been out there, I'm the one that needs to thank you guys, because you guys coming are the ones that means why we're still there, right? And why we've grown, because you come back next year and you brought friends along. And so I was just telling Luke here that you guys need to bring him along again next time too. It's been too long since he's been out, right?
That's an invitation that I just can't refuse. Oh my gosh. So you know what that means. We're going to be going to Sturgis together. So start making your plans. Yeah. Rod, I also wanted to ask, so you talked about how nice people are that you've met.
Yeah, what you asked me specifically was
what surprised you most?
Yeah, what surprised me most in being there, and what I said was how nice people are, because in explaining that, I said, my father died when I was 13, which was a long time ago. And I grew up, my mother remarried, and I kind of went the other direction. And and just kind of like throwing keg parties in high school. Wasn't anything you could advertise in the paper, And so I was a little bit more introverted, a little more defensive, not exactly an extrovert, as I, pedaled through all that. And when I got out of the service, I, went to college, finished college.
Which branch of the military?
Air Force.
Thank you for serving.
You're welcome. Anyway, here we are today, 41 years later after having that first event. And so, yeah, you all need to come on out and party a little bit, because it's fun.
Well, and it's become a legend in its own right around the whole Sturgis motorcycle rally. You attract iconic bands that are huge names in the industry. How did it go from starting the way it was to being such a major, it's really its own international event?
We just refused to quit. It's what we do. I had bands because I wanted to have somebody come out, and I didn't afford to go see them, so we asked them to come out, and then you guys helped pay for them. Is what happened. So, but in 2000, for example, 38 Special was a bigger deal than maybe the band is today, but they come out with 4 buses that were packed with millions of dollars worth of recording equipment. Wow. I wanted to record, live at Sturgis, the album. And so I asked the producer, I says, how come you chose to do a live recording here at the Buffalo Chip? And this is exactly what he said. He said, well, there seems to be a certain ambiance here that doesn't exist anywhere else. Yeah, that's cool. And so what we've had the agents and the artists say is that the audience is so appreciative. They just love performing there because it's different than any place else. And, one of the road managers for one of the biggest names in the history of the industry He says, you know, I've done shows in Singapore, I've done shows in Sydney, I've done shows everywhere. He says, and I can tell you honestly, there ain't no place like this place, any place.
There's a testimonial that is gold. Oh my gosh.
So anyway, that's what we do is we just have a party and, you know, people come out, just have a little exercise in old-fashioned American freedom. And, you know, we like that. So we'll be there again first couple weeks of August. Starts August 1st this year. Snoop Dogg is the only one we've announced as of this date. And he's going to be playing
Snoop
Saturday,
Dogg is going to
August.
be on your stage
Yeah,
at Buffalo
yeah,
Chips.
he showed up a couple years ago, right before Kid Rock. And, yeah, 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And maybe Kid Rock was just last year. Snoop was the year before. It was Toby Keith and Snoop. And you talk about a party. It was a good party.
I bet it was. Oh my gosh.
Every party's good, and sometimes you just remember, holy crap. It's kind of like, you know, after the show, he says, you know, this was we were kind of concerned about this gig. He says, but we'll come back anytime you want. And so we were going to have him back last year again for the second year in a row, which is unusual. But God, he was just so much fun. And then he got a movie part. So, you know, so, but if you want me, I'll be back the next year. So this is the next year.
Nice.
And true to his word, he signed the contract and we announced him. And, you know, so yeah, be there on Friday firsthand and get ready for Snoop on Saturday. All right.
There you go. You got to go to Buffalo Chips. You're going to see Snoop Dogg. There's a lot more. If you want the rest of the story, you got to be at Buffalo Chips. Right? August 1st?
August 5th is
5th.
Snoop.
So
Right,
August. So you be there at least the 4th, so that you're ready on the 5th when Snoop Dogg takes the stage at Buffalo Chips at the Sturgis event. Rod, thank you so much for the chat. Thanks so much for lunch. It was great meeting you.
Delighted. I'm looking forward to meeting some of your friends. So remember, bring him along. All right.
All right. Thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. We're going to check back in a bit. Going to explore more of what's going on here.